Always betting. Always betting.
We are live, episode 95. I am your co-host, Pisky, and I am joined, as always, by the honcho of hostility, Godfather.
Buongiorno.
What's going on, G? Oh, what is that, Malocchio?
Correct.
How's it going? You're looking a little blurry, I'm telling you. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I got the right camera.
Is there fingerprints on it?
What?
Fingerprints? Is there fingerprints on it?
Ah, fuck that, I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
Now it's all fucked up.
You want to start over?
Sure.
No.
Whatever you get what you get. I don't understand. You see, right off the bat.
Listen, you got us in hot water. You know, I
got us in hot water.
You sent me down to let's let everyone know the string of events. You sent me down to Costa Rica for a sit down with a representative of a sportsbook. You embarrassed me there, and then last week you lose your shit, and now the entire gambling community hates our guts.
Well, listen. I don't know what you want me to. I don't know. Like, what do you want? Like, you're the one that makes the enemies, not me. I was just lost my cool because I was defending you. That's all.
I mean, I appreciate it.
No, you don't. Because the way. No, you don't. That's okay. Doesn't matter.
Listen.
Honcho of hostility.
That's your new nickname. What do you think?
I don't like it.
You pissed off a lot of people.
I have my cheap suit. I have my cheap hat. Yeah. Okay. I have my espresso.
Pinky's up. Pinky's up. What are you doing to the people?
I took my medication, so I'm ready to go.
Okay. Good. Well, I'll tell you something, Godfather. Because you went completely off the rails last week, I took it upon myself, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to bring someone onto the podcast to keep you in line.
I oh my God.
Welcome to Tabbitha from STX. How's it going?
Good.
Pleasure to meet you.
Not too bad. Thanks for doing this, Tabbitha. I just told the Godfather that he misbehaved last week. The entire gambling community hates our guts. So now we brought you in online to keep him in line. What do you think?
Yeah, just don't want any veins popping out of your head this week.
Okay. Well, I will do my best because I certainly don't want to embarrass myself twice in a row.
First things first, can you... Yeah,
some didn't, but that's just what happens sometimes. But again, in my defense, my co-host, he sends me this note. I'm trying to Uber myself back home so I can fulfill my obligation to the podcast. And he's like, "Oh my God, I hope you're sitting down." Then he gives me a time frame, 1:27:54 or something like that. So, I got a million things were happening. I start the podcast at 1:26 and change. I have zero context of what's going on. And I see this guy that I don't know who he is. And he's trying to be a comedian. And then he starts taking shots at Pisk. And so I lost my mind. And then further, this guy here pissed me off more because the next thing I see tweeted is, Uncle whatever. And, I can't wait to hug it out at Bet Bash and have the... What? Like, no. So, no. I don't roll like that. Apologies.
Okay. I'm going to interject here. First of all, apologize to Tabbitha. You were late to this podcast, and you had her waiting, sitting there. So apologize, first off. And enough putting the spotlight on yourself. We have a guest here. You're not going to welcome her properly?
I thought only Pisky was waiting for me. That's why I didn't give a shit about being 5 minutes late. So I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Had I known, even though it's his specialty to spring things on me because he likes to see, I don't even know how to categorize my reactions, but anyway, okay, let's go. Welcome to our podcast.
Yes, thank you.
You're the STX lady, right?
I am.
Yes, There you go. Okay.
So
just in case you didn't bring a different Tabbitha on.
Before I start asking you some questions here, I just want to remind you that the Godfather and I have one rule on the Always Betting podcast, and that is you're not allowed to make us look stupid.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'll do that for myself. I'm sure of it.
Good stuff.
Don't spring any algebra on us like some other guests.
That wouldn't be me.
Okay.
Good stuff. That's what I like to hear. Okay, Tabbitha, again, thank you for coming on. Let us know how you got involved in the sports betting industry, because it's pretty unique to have females in this crowd and stuff like that, and you're part of it. You're in it. I've seen you at different bet bashes through the years. So let us know how you got started.
Yeah, it's not as cool as you would think. So I dated a guy who was into sports betting. He was not good at it, but we would take a lot of trips to Vegas. We would spend March Madness in Vegas, this and that, and I was just sick of sitting at a sports book twiddling my thumbs. So I'm like, and seeing him lose a lot of money. So I was like, I gotta monetize this. Like, if I'm gonna be here, let's figure out how to sports bet decently. So that's how I kind of got into it. From there, I was just kind of just had graduated with my master's, didn't really know what I was doing with my life, applied for a job at PlayUp, somehow got it. Not
What's
really
PlayUp?
sure.
I'm not too familiar with them.
So PlayUp is an Australian book, more horse racing, but they try to launch in the US.
Okay.
That went downhill quite quickly. Yeah, we had a great team. The US team was amazing. Just kind of couldn't make it work with the Australian side, working with the US side. Went down in flames. And so then I kind of started looking out there, met Justin, who is the founder of STX. Yep. He's actually from Illinois, and I'm from Illinois. So just kind of made that connection, and the rest is history at that point. I'm definitely like the operator side. I'm very glad that I'm no longer really betting.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot easier being the house, a lot less stress on the house's side, right?
Yeah.
That's a great story, Tabbitha. That's awesome. Yeah. You know what I'm thinking here? I'm thinking you got Tabbitha on here because you don't trust me anymore. That's what I think. Because you know there is no way that I'm going to take a misstep here with her on the show. You know that. So we'll talk after the show, me and you.
You know me too well, Godfather.
Yes.
Okay, so what is your role with STX? There was the question. Sorry, it was buried in the middle of everything.
Yeah, so I got hired on as head of marketing. And as you guys know, startups, entrepreneurship, you just do everything. So my role really switches from day to day. So currently I'm really in the weeds with operations, just making sure everything happens day to day, which I have learned that I kind of prefer that. So we'll see where it goes. Also, startup marketing budgets aren't FanDuel's marketing budgets. So
that's true. Yeah.
Definitely kind of have to take a new approach to that. So kind of learning different strategies, how we can get the brand out there, but get it to the right people with the budget that we have. And I also do our customer service, which is interesting enough.
So you have to battle some of the people we've been battling for the last couple of weeks.
Yes. I think I've seen fired I think I would get fired if I made like a burn list of customers, but there's one in my head.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I totally get it. I totally get it. And you know, working online and in marketing like you are, there is having to deal with very difficult people on whether it be Twitter. You know, I find they're a lot easier to get rid of on a place like TikTok. TikTok, it's a simple block. You're out. You can't see anything. It's over, right? But Twitter's a different beast. So maybe I'll ask the Godfather first this question: how do you deal with these trolls that we've been dealing with? What's your strategy, Godfather?
you're asking me what's my strategy? I didn't have any trolls until last week. So
So,
wrong guy to ask.
well, how have you been dealing with it? Do you mute? Do you block?
No, I don't know. I did a quick little look-see up, and I saw something that said leave conversation, and the
Okay.
rest of my week was quite good.
Okay, no, that's a
You know,
strategy. The people watching this, putting out content on the reg, you know, they need to hear these things potentially.
well, that's all I did. I don't know. I've never pissed anybody off, but like I said, there were factors that happened last week, and that led to me, you know, having a rather colorful approach to what I thought. And, you know, because after that, I saw, and if we're going to get back to that topic,
Well,
I saw one tweet. I saw one tweet where I believe it was a man. He said, Uncle, whatever, of all the terrible people in the sports betting Twitter sphere or whatever you want to call it, out of all the terrible content out there, how did you settle on Pisky Positivo? And then that really struck a chord with me because I looked at that tweet and I said, you stupid idiot, that's all you had to do. You could have sat there in front of the camera with this content availability, and I could have just said the exact same thing and would have gotten the point across. But no, I had to go mental. I had to go crazy, but I couldn't. Anyway, not apologizing.
the honcho,
It does
honcho of
not
hostility.
change. Does not change. Does not change my assessment that you shouldn't be. You should not have been on that list if we're taking that list serious. That's maybe another problem. Is maybe
Yeah,
I
we
take
should.
things too serious. Maybe I
Yeah, we
didn't have
shouldn't
to
be
take it
taking it.
serious at all. Because again,
No.
I'm going to ask, what are the people's credentials that give them the ability to be able to rate people on
Okay,
this stuff? This is all I'm asking. It's a simple
we're not.
question, right? So
We're not going
you know,
down this line again. I just
okay.
wanted to know how you dealt with the negativity that's been
Leave
coming our way.
conversation and hurry up,
Okay.
otherwise it's leave podcast. Let's go.
Tabbitha, I saw some people over the last few months. There's one particular dude out in Vegas. How do you deal with that mofo?
So I got your like roadmap of dealing with trolls, and I wrote down don't. Just
Oh,
I
there you
like
go.
I like to engage a little bit, just for laughs. Like for me, I think it's a little funny here and there,
Yeah.
but overall, like the people that I deal with day to day are mostly like middle-aged men. And if you have something to say about me, I'm like, okay,
Yes.
you know, go
Yeah.
out to dinner with your wife. Like,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
It's good.
That's
Good.
that is a good way of dealing with it. Don't engage. Don't even mute them. Get rid of them, and move on because there's no sense. You're not getting anywhere by trying to stand up to them or trying to change their mind or whatever. You're doing it the right way. Absolutely.
Oh, one
Uh,
more point. So also to the hater that said I was
oh my god.
a 50-year-old, I want to thank you. Thank you for your kindness. That was quite nice of you. 50 years old. Yes. Okay, let's move it on. Let's go.
Okay, moving on. Tabbitha, STX is an exchange, right? Are you guys just live here in Ontario?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, how did that happen? Like, you know, you think to
Yeah.
American people kind of, at the top of the food chain. How did you pick Ontario to start at?
Yeah, so there are a few exchanges in the US already, and we saw, like Ontario is such a good sports town, especially Toronto. Um, Offer them something that you guys don't have anymore. I know a lot of people like to compare us to Betfair. Um, in a sense, yes, but I think our tech is extremely better. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, Ontario has been great to us so far. There's a lot of bettors. Statistics show there's a lot of money going through Ontario, so we definitely saw the need for it. You know, Justin and I are pretty active on gambling Twitter, and we, consistently see everyone griping about being limited, everything like
Hmm.
that. So offering a product that we don't limit.
Yes, that is a huge benefit of exchanges,
That's an awesome feature.
especially STX. And I know you guys have been knocking at my door quite a bit, saying, "Pisky, why don't you have an account at STX yet? Why aren't you giving us some action?" And I'll explain it to everyone watching. Is basically, if you're an originator, right, and you're placing big bucks down, and you have angles in the major sports, NBA, NFL, NHL, STX is the place for you. You have to have. You'd be a big dummy if you don't have an account there. But for someone like myself, who's more into the middling game and more into the arbitrage game, arbitrage still very possible at STX. So maybe I do have to get moving on that, because if you can do some arbitrage on major sports like MLB or the NBA or something like that, that looks great for accounts. So it would be very handy to have that. But a lot of the stuff, too, that the Godfather and I bet on the reg, I mean, what did we do this morning, Godfather? A little bit of Mexican baseball. You guys have Mexican baseball yet, Tabbitha?
No,
No.
I don't think we will be offering that.
Yeah, it's, you know what I mean? It has to be more popular stuff.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone to go to STX and get an account, because you are going to get the best price there, probably 9 times out of 10 when you're betting on a major sport. But if you're just little cherry pickers like the Godfather and I, recreational betters, then
100%.
yeah, we kind of need all those other guys that offer all kinds of different shit in the bookmaking model. So that's my explanation. But yeah, I love your Twitter dude. I met him here in Toronto. It's
Yeah.
Eric, right? I believe.
Yeah, we have a few.
Oh, a
Teos.
few. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Teos.
Betstamp Teos. I
Yeah,
love
he joined our
Betstamp Teos. He's a
Discord.
big fan of mine. Okay, okay,
You
right
don't
on.
have any fans. Shut up.
Yes,
We learned
there's
that
one
last
fan.
week.
It's
Yeah.
Betstamp Teos is definitely, shout out to him, and shout out to Eric. I didn't met Betstamp Teos, but I met Eric at the meet and greet here in Toronto. We had like a sports betting
Yeah.
meetup. That Tabbitha, you gave me shit for not being on the invitee list, which I apologize
Yeah.
for. It was not my event. But
Mm.
yeah, no, I got to meet those guys there, and very smart dudes, and
Mhm.
they're great on Twitter. I'm telling you, some of the tweets I think have really put you guys on the map and caused some good engagement, which is huge in the marketing game, obviously. So okay, that's STX.
I have a
That's
question, if I may.
Go ahead.
So, I see your posts because I do follow, and you do consistently post very good prices on a lot of the major stuff, like Alex indicated. So,
Who's
just
Alex?
for some of us that maybe don't know on the back end of how STX works, so there has to be some sort of, is it a fee that's associated with your bets or something? Because I mean, you can't be
Mhm.
beating the line by 6, 7, 8, 9 points consistently and not make that
Yeah.
up somewhere else.
Yeah, so we do charge a commission fee. We just
Okay.
launched our loyalty program. So based
No.
on what tier you are in our loyalty program, will show what fee that you pay. So we start at 3%. If you came on what we call like our rookie player, you're starting at 3%, which is still insanely better than
Ten
holds at
percent.
any other
Yeah.
book. Um, so yeah, we do collect that fee, and then it only goes down, and you can get to like our Hall of Fame tier where you would have a lifetime of 0% commission.
Wow.
Nice, nice. And
Interesting.
I think you guys were offering out of the gate as well some 0%
Hmm.
trading fees, right? Just to get some people in there and cause the action to start up, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
we know that the platform is different, and it's a little bit of a learning curve. So, we wanted to offer that to get people on, try, to place a few wagers, maybe try to. So we have a simple and pro mode on our app. So the pro mode does allow you to set your own odds. Um,
Okay.
and that's where our Discord comes into play a lot, is we are building up a community on our Discord to kind of, hey, I want Cardinals baseball at such and such price, and people's orders are getting filled super quickly through the Discord, so that's been a really big asset to our
Hmm.
users.
Okay, nice. So people will go onto the Discord and place the price that they want, or kind of what they're looking for, and then they'll go match on the app.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's brilliant. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like a community within the community type of thing. That's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah. And we're hoping to kind
Yeah.
of grow that for our larger customers that will get to like the Hall of Fame tier, and kind of do a more private, larger trading through like a Telegram or something like that.
Okay. Sweet.
Very interesting.
So do you and Justin come up here to Toronto often to sort of like be on the turf type of thing, or not yet?
Um, I have not. Justin does. I will be there
Okay.
in June for the like Canadian Gaming Summit. So I'm
Okay.
gonna
Yeah.
be there
Yeah.
through June.
Mhm.
That'll be my first time. I'm hoping to stay for a little bit longer just to kind of feel out everything around there. And like I said
Yeah.
before, we're never going to compete with FanDuel or DraftKings or anything. So we're not looking to, make those giant partnerships or be on billboards everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. So you've never been to Toronto before?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. So we'll have to take Tabitha out for an espresso. What do you think, Godfather?
Well, if she would like to, we will definitely do our best to be our hospitable selves. Absolutely.
Good. Good stuff. Tabitha, you mentioned the Cardinals. Are you a St. Louis Cardinals fan? Wait? So
Well, she
originally you
says she's
said,
from Illinois. Like, what's the matter?
yeah, but I think she's
Yeah.
from St. Louis. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's clarify.
So from my window out here, I can see the arch. So I just live on the
No
other
way.
side of the river. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Yep, I live on a river town, and the downtown of St. Louis is like 30 minutes from my house.
Okay. Cool. Cool. But you grew up in Illinois. Is that
Yeah, I
it?
still live in Illinois. It's
Oh,
I'm
wait
on
a
the
second.
Illinois
What?
Yeah,
side of St.
I
Louis.
knew this. Here we go.
Wait a second. Okay, we've had this conversation before, and we figured this out before. This place. I got a picture for us, Tabitha. Let me know if this place
Oh.
looks familiar.
Oh yeah. Is that Collinsville?
That is that is,
East
I guess,
St. Louis.
East
Oh,
St.
yeah, we don't
Louis,
go there.
Illinois. Okay, so the Godfather, the Full Dog, and I took a trip across the United States 2 years ago
From
in
Toronto
August.
to Las Vegas.
Toronto, yeah, they were chaperoning me to Las Vegas for spending in the football season in Vegas, and we stopped at this place, the DraftKings. I'll pull it up again. The DraftKings casino, and that was just over the bridge from the Cardinal Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And this was East St. Louis. And from what I remember, and it's
Yeah,
funny to see a
no.
reaction like that, when we took the subway after the game to our
Yeah.
hotel, because we stayed there, all the locals thought we were out of our minds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have
So
thought you
you
were
can vouch for
completely off.
that?
You
Yep. You
you can
don't go
just
to East
tell
St. Louis.
she got immediately nervous when you put up that picture and we said where we were. So we were on the train and we're being our polite Canadian selves and we were just we were talking with some people that were leaving the game as well and some were even going to work and they were like, "What's stopping you? Where are you guys staying? What's stopping you getting off?" And we told them and their faces went straight and said, I think the quote was, "Y'all go straight to your hotel and nowhere else." So I looked at him and I looked at Full Dog and I said, "Jesu Cristo, straight to the hotel. These are locals. If they're telling you don't fool around, yeah, we're not going around driving around in the Betmobile looking for friends. No."
No,
Yeah, they
I
told
don't
us
think
we
you
had
would
2
find them.
stops.
Yeah.
They told us we had 2 stops. Make sure you get off at those 2 stops. Don't go any further. Don't get off any sooner. Stick to those 2 spots and you'll be all right. And yes, I'm going to bring it up one more time. That is the Betmobile, folks. I've had some little modifications done to it lately, but if you look closely, yes, we drove across the United States with the Banfield Group logos and always betting, trying to promote the podcast. And I think from doing all that, our podcast went from 63 listeners to 68 listeners. So I think it all paid off.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. So
After last week, we didn't hit 70 yet?
We got a couple downwards thumbs on some of our videos on YouTube. Yeah, now we're in the can, and it's all your fault because you just treat me like your son all the time, which I guess has its benefits, but a little too protective maybe at times. You got to cool down.
All right.
You know what? No. Spice it up even more. Start screaming.
Yeah.
If you want to cut everyone off and just start going after them again, by all means. let's keep shaking this hornet's nest. To hell with them. So, Tabbitha, did you say you are a Cardinals fan? It is baseball season. Do you go over to Busch Stadium? It's still Busch Stadium, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think it'll always be Busch Stadium. But definitely a Cardinals fan. St. Louis sports run deep.
Yeah. You guys got a Stanley Cup there not too long ago, right? The Blues in
2019,
2019, I believe.
Yeah.
That was kind of out of nowhere.
That was fun.
And yeah. Did you go to like parade and stuff like that? Are you that deeply entrenched? Did you? Okay, nice.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was their first win in time.
We went from last place to winning the cup, so St. Louis went a little crazy.
Yeah. Nice. I love it. So I do have another picture for us that we can share because one of our stops was Busch Stadium to watch the Cardinals. And does anyone recognize this guy? I don't know. But you know what? You know what they say, right? The Godfather's never supposed to wear shorts. So I don't know what the hell happened here. I don't know.
It's the middle of summer. Give me a break.
No. Rules are rules.
Yes, sure.
But yes, that was right before we pregame. What was it? All you can eat, all you can drink, I think?
Yeah, it was an all you can eat and all you can drink buffet.
Yeah,
it wasn't expensive either, really, when you consider things.
Yeah.
Compared to what the Rogers Center here in Toronto, the Sky Dome is what the locals call it. They did some like major renovation stuff. We're starting to look a little bit more like an American ballpark now, which is great. We needed that because the Sky Dome before Godfather, you can attest to this. It was
crap. Are you kidding me?
Hard. It was cool in 1993, but when you get into the 2020s and you haven't done many renovations, it gets kind of old. But man, there's been a couple TikToks that have surfaced lately about just like a hot dog and a beer. What that costs down the street at Rogers Center is boo.
One thing I love about Cardinal fans, they love their baseball history. When we were at the game, I saw the Gibson sweaters and all the old timers, and they were like, they don't fool around. So I really like that.
Nice. Who's the top Cardinal now? Nolan Arenado, I think.
Yeah. Oh my God. Sure. The guy, whatever Cardinal's on your fantasy baseball team, he's he's the big Cardinal right now. Absolutely.
That's definitely where I was going with that. So tough. Okay, next topic of conversation for us, gang, is this Jontay Porter stuff. What is going? Oh, wait, hold on. Before we get to Jontay, I just want to clarify again. East St. Louis is in Illinois. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And
the river separates.
Obviously, St. Louis is in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And sports betting is legal in Illinois, but it is illegal still in Missouri, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I live
Okay.
like 3 blocks up from a casino. And
Okay.
a lot of
In
people
Illinois.
like, yep.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
fun fact, all of the land-based casinos in Illinois and Missouri have to be on water.
Oh,
Mm.
I didn't know
So
that.
my
So riverboat
casino,
gambling.
yeah. So my casino is called the Argosy right down the street, and it used to be a boat that would take you out down the river and then come back. It's stationary, but it's still on the river.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, okay, kind of like a little Ozark thing, right? Didn't they have something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's exactly
yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's. I remember. I love that show. You an Ozark fan, Godfather? You must be.
I'm the
close
one
to
that
it,
told
right?
you about the show. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me.
Yeah.
We have a guest. We have a guest.
Ozark was awesome. Yeah, I love
Yes, it
that.
was.
So, but okay, but that's in Missouri, so there's no sports book inside.
Correct.
Correct. Right. You got to go East St. Louis, Illinois.
Well, you can bet in the casinos. There's just no
Oh.
app.
Oh, okay, okay, yes, I did read something like that. So complicated. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not a bad thing though. Do you play at any of the sites, Tabbitha?
I don't anymore. No.
You don't. Good. You're on the opposite side. You're on the house's
Yes.
side, just like the Godfather and I, taking
When you're-
people's bets.
When you're on the house's side, you don't need this other business. That's for
That's it.
sure.
There's no
Uh-oh,
time.
we just oh, we just got another bet come through here, Godfather.
Yeah.
Quick, Tabbitha, can we play Bolivian soccer at STX right now? Not yet?
No, not yet. We do have quite a few leagues, but
Do you? Well, we'll have to
Yeah.
take a look at that more seriously, for real. Okay, now we can go to Jontay Porter. We're going to leave that Bolivia
No.
thing alone.
One
I don't know.
second. I have a question for Tabbitha. Are you looking
Go for it.
forward to the gaming conference?
yeah, I haven't been to the Canadian one, so we'll definitely see. I'm suspecting it's all the same people at every one of them. So
Will you be promoting your product while you're there?
yeah, my job really is just to kind of go there, meet with some different marketing opportunities that we have,
Mhm.
and a lot of different softwares that we are potentially maybe using.
That's great.
Okay. Would you say I have some questions in our roadmap about BetBash a little towards the end here, but would you say the Canadian? Well, I guess it's your first time, but okay, Godfather, I'll float this one to you. Do you think the Canadian gaming people are a little less hostile, less vicious than the BetBash people?
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
Yeah.
Isn't it all suits at the Canadian gaming stuff?
Oh, okay. Well, if that's your angle, Fisk has a problem with suits. So
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think everyone would be a lot more polite. Not that I'm not saying people at BetBash aren't polite, right? Because all these trolls online, I don't even know if they go to BetBash, and
No.
they sure as hell will never go to your face and say anything to you, right? It's all keyboard warrior style. I'm just saying probably there's a little bit more properness to the Canadian gaming stuff, which I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
it might be a little more boring, if anything. I'm
Yeah.
gonna call a spade a spade.
Probably not 4 open bars, I'm going to say. I'm going to float that out there, right?
Or a pool party.
Or
No, nothing like that.
Okay, Jontay Porter, did the NBA get it right? They just came down on him. They told him he's banned for life. Get lost. Get out of here. He got caught playing, I guess, giving information about his health status to some buddies who took it upon themselves, and maybe he was involved, maybe he wasn't. It looks like he was involved. And they proceeded to bet 80 grand on same game parlays to try and score 1.1 million because they knew that he was only going to be in the game a couple minutes, and he took himself out. Did the NBA get this right, Tabbitha?
Yeah, I think he should be banned from every league.
I agree. Godfather?
I agree. It's
Not too harsh?
no, it's a terrible lapse in judgment, but again, I don't know if his actions were deliberate, because like we've discussed on other podcasts, without me blowing up, like he could have just mentioned something and the wrong person was within earshot, and but it doesn't seem that way because
Yeah.
he's also involved in his own bets. So this was it's a monumental, colossal failure in his own judgment. I think from the stuff that I read, I think he cleared $20,000 on something like $3 million in career earnings, and we're not even looking like forward at what his earning potential could be, because as Tabbitha has alluded to, I mean, there are professional leagues outside of the NBA, and like, who's going to hire this guy now if he's doing these things? Right? I mean, you think there's no books and there's no people in Europe waiting for something like this, and it's just, again, I think if you look at all the stories that have been written about it, I think what really stands out is, again, I'm not in the NBA, obviously, so I don't mean to offend anybody by saying a fringe player, but he's not a starter. He's not a well-known player. He's starting due to 5, 6, 7 injuries on the Raptors, and all of a sudden now there's an injury situation going on, and all of a sudden, like, this guy maybe had $10 bet on him before, and now all of a sudden
Yeah.
there's $80,000 on an under. I mean,
Yeah.
how did this group not think that there are protocols in place at
Yes.
anywhere, be it FTX, be it FanDuel, be it wherever, that's going to catch this stuff.
Yeah.
And now he has to
Exactly.
pay the ultimate price. So I feel
That
bad. And again, I'm a family guy, as has been indicated. I feel bad for his brother too, because his brother now has to play in the league with this burden of what happened. I mean, you think he goes through an interview without this being
yeah.
in the air? Like, it's tough.
Yeah, you're right. I think it blows over eventually. Like, he's not gonna. He's got playoff games to win, right? He can't be sitting there sulking about his brother.
No,
But apparently
yeah.
another brother, like, just passed away or something of the Porters.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
about that.
someone told me that. I don't know. I was hoping that one of you two would know. I guess I got to do my research on that. But yeah,
You really should.
I think the lesson there is these books aren't stupid, folks. They, I wasn't supposed to repeat this, but it's been a couple years. But some of these places, I don't know who exactly or which book it was exactly, but some of these places are like monitoring keystrokes, like your thumb movements on your smartphones. This is the kind of technology that they're coming out with now. They have those big meetings of all the sports books over in London. I think they're the ICE meeting, the ICE conference or something. Do you know about it, Tabbitha? You've heard of it, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what these, like, in terms of security and fraud prevention and catching people
Yeah.
who beard. This is the level that they're getting to. So don't think that you're smarter than these places. Don't think that you can get away with things. Don't think that you can bet 80 grand on a fringe player, as the Godfather said, and get away with it. Right? That kind of action would send off alarms if it was on LeBron, let alone Jontay Porter. Like, what are we talking about here?
Absolutely.
So yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think
agree
obviously
there.
the NBA's got to nip this in the butt. They did.
They did.
And they want to move forward and past it as fast as humanly possible, because
Yeah.
it's not a good look. It really isn't.
It's
And I
it's
think they're
not a
even
good.
looking at prop bets now,
Well, there you
like
go.
removing them completely. Do you guys have props on STX, Tabbitha?
We currently do not. We are building out our technology further to add any event that we would want to.
Okay.
And that should be coming within a few weeks. So from
Nice.
there, most things are possible if we can add whatever. If you want to get down on it, we will put it up.
Okay, gotcha. And but I think I saw that you guys have a market set up for the presidential election. Did I see that correctly?
We do. Yep.
Okay, so there you go. That's a step in the right direction. Getting some of those. What do they call them? Some sort of Anyway, I don't know. There's novelty. No, is that it? Novelty
Novelty.
props.
Yeah, not novelty.
There we go.
Yeah,
Hey, man, I almost
industry,
froze up there.
industry
Yeah.
pro here.
Okay, so that puts that to bed. The next thing I have on our list here, guys, is Bet Bash 2024. Tabbitha, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you've been at the last 2 Bet Bashes, have you not? Both of them in Vegas?
Yep, I have.
What's your assessment of Bet Bash? The Godfather hasn't been before, but this year is going to be his first.
I really enjoyed it. This last one was very different than this Bet Bash 2 that I went to. It grew so much. I was like really impressed with the turnout. I love it. I think it's such a great way to like network, and kind of what you alluded to earlier. The trolls will not troll you to your face. So
No.
everyone's really nice.
100%. Yeah. Everyone, especially the big mouths on Twitter that do like to ruffle people's feathers and do like to correct people at every given moment, right? They're just sitting back waiting for you to make a mistake in your tweet or something like that, or in your information. Nothing but smiles and nice handshakes that happen at Bet Bash. Are you going this year, Tabbitha?
I will be there.
Nice. What happened in the first Bet Bash, or Bet Bash 2? There was something about the hot dogs or something that went down. You got to tell us that story.
Yeah, so
GRP.
I went with PlayUp with a few coworkers, and so our COO, she is this tiny little Australian that is a spitfire, and she does not like to sleep. So we were up all night.
Oh my goodness.
Every day, and I'm like, I'm not used to this. So I was vegetarian for quite some time, and we had stayed up, played some table games all night, drank probably a little bit too much, and I was starving, and the only thing that was open was like the Coney Island hot dog stand, and everyone else was like, we're gonna like smash some hot dogs, and I'm like, oh, I was like, I'm just eating one. I don't even care at this point.
Wow.
And that was that. Your
That's
streak
hungry.
as a vegetarian was done.
Yeah. And then the next day we had our expert panels, which was pretty small at Bet Bash 2. They were so good. But I think it only filled like a smaller conference room at the D. So it was not that many people. And Spanky served Coney Island hot dogs for lunch.
So did you go in for second? So you had one after not sleeping. Did you go in for second?
No.
And yes,
That's good.
To what the Godfather just chimed in with, GRP, who's been on this podcast, another surprise guest for the Godfather. He got busted for sneaking into Bet Bash and, I don't know, making some content about the hot dogs, and they've kind of canceled the hot dogs. So if anyone's thinking of going to Bet Bash and saying, oh, the food sounds like it's shit, no, they've cut out the hot dogs. It's no more. And last year's lunch was a lot better. I think it was like barbecue and stuff. So that was really good. Just a reminder for everyone, Bet Bash is in August in Las Vegas. Tabbitha's going to be there. I'm going to be there. And the Godfather's going to be there for the first time. And it's going to be a great time. And the learning opportunities at Bet Bash are incredible. The networking opportunities at Bet Bash. Did you do the speed networking, Tabbitha?
I did last year. I didn't do it my first year, but that is hands down my favorite part of it.
Okay.
And I wish we had like more days of it, just because people are forced to talk to each other. Probably wouldn't meet each other, and I made a lot of great connections. My algorithm may have been a little messed up, or I didn't fill something out right, but I met with every one of our competitors.
Oh, come on, really?
Right. But they're all like geniuses. Like Alex Kane with Sport Trade, he's so smart.
I recognize that name. Yeah,
Yeah.
New Jersey, I think,
Great.
right?
Yep. Yeah, great
Okay.
guy. Shares information, just really wants everything to succeed in the industry. So that was such a good conversation.
Awesome.
Yeah. And just to give everyone an idea of how the speed networking works, you basically have, what is it, like 7 minutes or so? So I'm going to say something like that. 7 minutes where you sit in front of another person in the sports betting industry and you have like 12 consecutive meetings, right? Of 7 minutes. So it's a lot of talking. If you're like Mr. Pisky Positivo here, you love it. But it is an endurance test, I'll tell you. It is an endurance test, but you meet all kinds of different people. And one of my matches last year was Roxy Roxborough. So if you know anything about the gambling industry, Roxy Roxborough's been around forever. He used to write articles in the Toronto newspaper, did he not, Godfather?
Yes, he used to provide lines to the Toronto Sun.
Okay.
The Roxy line, it was called.
The Roxy line?
Yes.
Yeah. So I got to talk with him. I got to take pictures with him when he was inducted into the Sports Gambling Hall of Fame with Billy Walters as well. It's a great time. And again, you get to hang out with cool people like us that are actually nice in this sports betting industry. Holy shit. 3 nice people here that you're staring at. And there's open bars. Like Tabbitha said, there's pool parties, there's food, there's the Legacy Club, which is super cool. You're on the 61st floor, 60th, 61st, one of the two, overlooking the city of Las Vegas. It's really incredible. And again, like we mentioned, a lot of smart people there, right? But don't be intimidated by that, because us dummies are there. Not Tabbitha, she's smart, but me and the Godfather, you can goof around with us. And there's lots of fun to be had. Are you excited, Godfather? You're just sitting there, kind of quiet right now. Are you intimidated? I told you, there's a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people compared. I still consider myself a rookie in this content creation stuff, but there's a lot of people that watch this podcast that are excited to meet you at MedBash.
I don't believe any of this stuff. You just make this stuff up. And but no, I gotta admit, I definitely am a little intimidated of this speed dating situation that you just. I don't know if I'm going to participate in that, but you
definitely should.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tabbitha.
I was very nervous as being such a newbie in the industry, but it was my favorite part.
No, that's great.
There's some encouragement for you. Yes, and it is a little bit. I don't even think intimidating is the word. It's a lot. It's different for a lot of people. It's new. I would just suggest, or my tip would be, go in with a story. Right, rehearse a little bit about a story about yourself. So, hey, I'm Pisky. I do the Always Betting podcast. I have this friend that gets us in trouble online. You might know him. His name is the Godfather. And you know what I mean? Just present a little bit of a 2-minute about me, and then you'll be fine, because you just have to repeat that. But you're going to sit down with very smart people, and all it takes is one connection. Yeah. And Godfather, the connection that I made at Bet Bash last year. Again, it was at the Legacy Club. I was approached. I was asked, Prisky, we're thinking maybe we can collaborate here and there. And here we are, 8-9 months later, we're still working with the people that approached me at the Legacy Club. So you never know, and you're one conversation away from potentially, like, I know it's going to sound corny, I know it's going to sound over the top, but potentially changing your life, career-wise anyways, and even friendship-wise. I don't know, I've met a lot of cool people there. Yeah, and
there are some good people, and there definitely are some very smart people, not necessarily the ones that troll on Twitter and X, but there are definitely some smart people in this industry, and I commend you, Tabbitha, on your story and your career path. Keep it up. I hope STX works out well in the Ontario market.
And definitely let us know if you guys are having any parties or something. Godfather and I like to let loose.
You don't even have an account, and you want to go to parties.
I do have an account. I do have an account. But I have not funded the account. So
Oh,
maybe during the dog days of summer, if I can find myself some baseball arbs to keep all my credit books happy, to keep BetMGM happy, to keep all the other books that, I just don't want to feed them Bolivian soccer all the time. Maybe I can do some MLB middling because, arbitrage. Did you know? I've said this before on the podcast. When I used to work at BetUS, when I first got into the industry, way back in the year 2006, no, even earlier, 2003, we used to get a call from this guy named Spanky, and he would call in directly to me because I had the ability to. He was playing with a bookie out of New York or something like that, and that bookie gave him a 5 cent discount on all his baseball lines. So I had the ability to go into the system and manually change his minus 125s to a minus 120. And all he was doing, to my knowledge, was arbitrage, right? Laying minus 120 somewhere where you could probably do it STX, and then playing plus 123 somewhere else. So it looks really good, right? If you're into the masking your action and stuff like that, if you throw in some pregame baseball in the middle of July when nothing else is going on, I think it looks great. So STX is probably a place you can do that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a big day. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Tell us about the Discord.
Teos likes to throw out ARB opportunities, so you really don't even have to go looking for him. He'll find them for you.
There you go. That is
Perfect.
incredible. Yeah, because normally, you have to pull up Spank Odds or Don Best or whatever odds provider service that you have, and you got to sniff them out manually. If Teos is doing it for us, it's even easier.
Right.
I have another question for Tabbitha.
True.
So if you're not limiting people, so what's a common challenge then at STX? Because I imagine you must have something that might be particular to your platform.
Yeah.
Because us here, that's all we complain about,
Right.
I put in a $200 bet. They want to give me $2.76, and they want me to say thank you. I'm not a thank you kind of person in that sort of moment.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is just learning something different. Most people in this space are not willing to learn something different, which is kind of mind-boggling to me, because if you can, get a better edge, why couldn't you just learn something different? And it's not that hard. If I can learn it, everyone can learn it. It does take a little practice, and we do kind of, like I alluded to before, we have a simple mode and a pro mode. Your pro mode, you can do a lot more. You can set limit orders where you're putting out your own odds for whatever prices. Being newer to the market, we do have a little bit of limitations. Like, say you wanted to get down, $100,000 on something, getting the other side filled. We could partially fill it probably with a lot of our players, but just depending on what you're betting on,
Liquidity issues. Yeah, that's kind of normal for exchange, especially a new exchange.
Right.
You got to give it time to mature.
Yeah.
But like Tabbitha said, if you're playing something major, Monday Night Football, your bets are going to get matched, right? Yeah. Maybe not so much on a shitty 1:00 baseball game that not too many people are tuning into, but that makes sense. That's totally normal, and the exchanges, because it's peer to peer, right? So basically, STX, how they make their money is they collect a percentage on matching the bets, right? So when we're playing Godfather, we're playing against the sports book, so that's why they see, Série C in Brazil, and they're like, no, senor, because they're booking those bets. STX doesn't book the bets; they just match action for action and take a cut. So that's the difference there.
Cool.
Okay, we're rounding the bend here. Just a couple quick notes. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow is 420. It's someone's birthday tomorrow, and it's Bitcoin halving day. Are you into Bitcoin at all, Tabbitha?
I was into Bitcoin kind of when it got trendy, and I
Okay.
got out which, kicked myself in the butt for.
Well, yes and no, because depending on when you got in and when you got out, crypto is the reason why my head is practically all white now. But yeah, tomorrow's a big day for Bitcoin and the halving. I don't know. Like, I'm not telling anyone to go out and buy anything or sell anything. I have no idea. I hope it goes to the moon, obviously, right? I'm a big crypto enthusiast. But yes, 420 National Weed Day as well. Is that stuff legal where you are in Illinois, Tabbitha?
Yep, it's everywhere. There's a dispensary on every block, it seems.
Okay, so yeah, so no different than up here in Toronto.
Wait till you come to Toronto.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah, walk down Queen
Right.
Street. Every third door is a dispensary. Yeah. Godfather, what are you doing for 420? Hello.
I don't know. I'll put out something witty. Wish somebody happy birthday online. I don't know. It's another day. 420.
Is it ironic? Is it ironic that my birthday is on 420?
It is not ironic in any. No, it's you couldn't have a person's birthday be on 420 more justly than you. So
actually, that's not true. Our friend T-Bone Vegas on Twitter.
God. Let me tell you, does that guy ever stop? No. And who's this other buddy he has now? It's like two unstoppable forces.
I know.
Oh my God! Does he go to Bet Bash?
Yeah. He hung out with us at Bet Bash. He sat at our table for the introductions or the induction ceremony.
He goes hard.
Gambling Hall of Fame.
That's all I'll say. Great guy. We've had him on.
He's great though. Yeah. He's great. Yeah. No. Apparently he's. We definitely got to have him back on here. Apparently he's going on this like private jet or something in the next couple of days.
In Nicaragua or like oh my God! I hope he makes it. Yeah.
It's he's an entertaining dude, and I told him this morning that my birthday was tomorrow, and I know if there's one person that's going to appreciate it, it's going to be that guy. So yes. Shout out to T-Bone. Okay, Tabbitha, we got to be respectful of your time. Again, thank you very much for joining us here and keeping the Godfather. He didn't lose his shit, right? You didn't see any veins, right? Well, we still have a couple minutes left, so you never know. You don't want to count.
I'm not an animal. I was raised properly. I can fly off the handle. That's a genetic. I'm sorry. Like, I can't apologize. But no, I'm actually, it's great that you came on. It really was.
I'm happy to.
Perhaps you can teach us this XTX business.
Oh, yeah, we can get on Zoom and screen share, and we'll go through it.
Great.
Look at that customer service. That is impressive.
Steaks are on Pisky when you come in June.
For sure. He's not buying steaks for his new friends.
Yeah. Yeah, precisely.
Where can we get? We always like to ask this when we bring guests on, Tabbitha. Where can we get a good slice of pizza in your neighborhood?
Emos. So St. Louis is known for emos. Provolone cheese.
Oh,
that's a must. It's like cracker thin, but that's like the St. Louis staple of pizza around here, and we're known, like, St. Louis is known for toasted ravioli. I don't know if you've ever had it or heard of it.
Toasted ravioli.
It's like it's like fried or toasted, depending, like in an oven, raviolis, and then you dip it in marinara sauce.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Godfather, you don't know about this? There's fried ravioli going on in St. Louis. You have no idea.
I gotta tell you, I do not.
Unbelievable.
I'm kind of mad that you came to St. Louis and you didn't go to the Hill. That's our like whole Italian district.
Oh, I was just about to ask. A lot of my people in St. Louis.
Yeah.
The Hill.
Really? The Hill.
Okay, it's here
community.
now. So, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it gives us a reason to get back there. We were only there, and you know what? We didn't even stay in St. Louis. We stayed in East St. Louis. right? Like, I know that sounds crazy, right,
Yeah, it
to a
does.
local, but yeah, we stayed at that DraftKings casino.
Gassing
But
up the Betmobile for 5 minutes in East St. Louis it felt like 15. Just going to put it
Yeah.
out there.
yeah, that was a little tough. And Godfather, you're gonna ask our guest about your question that you ask everyone. Well, I guess she just gave away the answer. Where can the Godfather get a nice espresso in St. Louis? Sorry,
Ooh.
like Jesus.
On the hill, a nice
I was
cannoli,
prepared.
something. There's got to be Italian bakery.
I was prepared for this question. So, I grew up in a really small town outside of St. Louis, like where you get your coffee from a gas station. So
Okay.
definitely not like I love coffee, but I'm bottom barrel coffee, you know.
Okay, so
So, but
Guess.
there is a few bakeries and such on the hill that I would suspect has good coffee.
okay, well, we'll have to do an espresso review, Pisk, next time
We
we
gotta,
blow
yes,
through there.
we gotta hit up the hill, and the more you talk about it, the more that Mulberry Street pops into my mind. The street in New York where all the amazing cafes are, and cannolis and sidewalk patios and stuff like that. It's incredible. So that's it. The hill. Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that.
I'll tell them Tabbitha sent us.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. And any last words, Godfather? Tabbitha, anything? No? We're good?
Have a
Signing
great
off.
weekend, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.